Welcome to Nature Walk with the two Gabriellas. I'm Dr. Gabriella Kurushi.
And I'm Gabriella Trofin-Tatar.
And we are out in nature. And we've been writing a lot about water because there's been a lot of water shortages in areas where we live or where we know people live or where we are from. So it's been kind of a concern. Hi, thank you for joining. So I'm out with the puppies in Nature Walk. Hi, Chris. And then Gabi is in her parents' garden. She can tell you all about it. And
Yeah, I'm in the garden.
so we've been really concerned about water. So we thought we're going to talk about water a little bit. In the country where I'm from, in Hungary, there's just a lot of the Danube is really low. Gabi wrote a great article about it. And I talked to my father, and he was saying that, they really have to watch how much water they use, and then they use electricity. And I talked to my friend, one of our editors in dancingelephantspress, Annalise Lords, yesterday, and she said that there's only a few hours a day that they have water in Jamaica right now, where she is.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, she have to catch and collect rainwater to be able to survive, which is very scary thought.
Yeah, it's happening to us. So I am also living in Hungary. Now I'm just in Romania for a few weeks with my parents. And here the Danube is also very low. And the major hydroelectric power plant is going to stop today. I
Wow.
haven't watched the news today um, because it's getting depressing at some point. But this hydroelectric power is covering 20% of the country's energy source. So uh, it doesn't mean there won't be energy. It just means that the country will need to buy from somewhere else to source, and it will get more expensive. For now,
But can they
for
buy
now,
somewhere?
this is
Can they buy from somewhere else, Gabi? Because that's going on around other
well.
countries
There
too,
are
right?
Yes, but our neighbor country, Bulgaria, was taking care and they invested in batteries for
Oh.
stock energy. So I think they have a lot of, solar panels, a lot of wind
Hmm.
power, and they stock it. I mean, I don't know the details, so I haven't checked what's happening in Bulgaria. But on the news, they say that uh, they have they can sell energy,
Hmm.
stocked up energy. And this would happen usually in the evenings when consumption is a lot higher than what the current capacity can take.
Which
So
makes
this is for
sense.
Romania.
People get home from
Yeah.
work and then they use electricity for cooking and showering and whatever they need to do, washing.
And not only people, during the week especially, the big industries are consuming a lot of water.
Oh.
And
Hmm.
this takes a lot of, and like I can, you know, there is the manufacturing for cooling. They use it. They use the water for cooling the machines when making paper, making steel. And if you think about paper, there is so much water used for making paper.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, because you are
But,
actually doing paper
yeah,
making and
but when I make paper, I use recycled materials, recycled paper for my papers, and I collect rainwater.
yeah,
And if I don't have rainwater, I don't make paper.
yeah. I mean, you use what you have when you have it. But imagine if we didn't have any paper products because there was
Yeah,
such a lack of water. Paper is everywhere as well. So
absolutely.
then, there are these other industries, mining for extracting oil and gas and minerals from the earth. Everything uses water. Also,
Yeah,
energy for energy in what I mentioned in the hydroelectric plants. So it's a lot. It's a lot of consumption.
absolutely. So
And
I think, yeah,
yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
I just mentioned a few, quite
Yeah,
general situations, because if we go more in depth, we could really understand and become aware of how our consumption trends and habits drive, demand for everything, and how these industries are, need to produce, and also use resources.
yeah. So I think it's kind of important. It's easy to forget that where energy comes from and how water is used. But in times like this, I think it's a good reminder to protect our waters and protect our energy and be mindful of consumption and even mindful of what we buy and why we buy
Yeah,
something. Because the more
yeah,
we buy, the more is produced, right? And
yeah,
so just kind of trying to live a life of less waste, less production, and spend more time in nature, just like we do in our nature walks. But can
yeah.
you imagine there's not enough water to water the fruits and the vegetables, then we have nothing to eat. I mean, it's a very scary thought to me. Water brings us life, and it's important that we
Yeah.
protect it, not just from evaporating because the planet gets so hot, but also not polluting it because that pollution goes into our bodies and then we get
Look,
sick. Oh my goodness.
see,
Well,
so we are watering, but like really less, drop by
yeah,
drop with it. But still, the earth is dry. You can see.
yeah,
Oh, there are wind. There is a lot of wind. There was, I don't know, the fourth or fifth heat wave lately, and this is how it looks in a garden, which is actually watered as well.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, I just water every few days, only the vegetable garden, or if it gets really dry, then the fruit trees. But
Yeah.
we are fortunate that we live in the forest and the surrounding trees give a lot of shade as well and keep the moisture in. But in the place where it's open and there's no trees that provide the shade and the protection, the earth's going to get cracked and water evaporates quicker.
This is actually close to the orchard, so we planted a lot of trees here. It's like an
Yeah.
oasis of green and
But
everything.
also because of the heat, right? The heat
Yeah.
waves, it just
So
really dry the soil out.
the heat waves came one after the other, leaving very little time in between for the plants and vegetation to catch up, to to have a respite from these conditions. And in on the other hand, the insects have come to to feast on stuff too. So
Hmm.
how they are saying that we will get more mosquitoes, more ticks, more uh, insects that are not usually in our areas because of the
Because it's
climate
getting hotter.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm scared of the big wasps that came
Hmm.
from Africa that kill the bees.
Oh,
Because when there's no bees, then,
yeah.
who's going to pollinate our fruit trees? And then we're not going to have fruit. Or you have to individually try to pollinate each flower to get
Yeah, we
fruit.
will
I
start.
mean, that's so I think, the decreasing number of the bees is also a warning sign. I think I think nature gives us a lot of warning signs. The
Yeah.
question is, do we listen? And what are the things that people can do and companies can do and to be more mindful of nature, and not just for us, but for our children. I mean, we are both mothers, so it's
Yeah.
scary to think, what's going to happen for the
What we
next
leave.
generation.
Hmm. What we leave to the next generations.
Hmm.
Because everyone can do their part. You cannot say that, oh, I'm too small, I'm too, you know, whatever actions I do don't count.
Yeah, everything counts. Every single tree that's planted counts. Everything counts.
And here it's not about guilt or making others feel guilty, but making others feel aware that everybody can help somehow. Of course, it
Yeah,
would
I
be,
was just thinking just before started this, how I collect all the little trees and then plant them in the forest.
yeah.
I was thinking maybe we can do some donation thing on the website. Buy a tree, I plant it for you, $5 or something. You know,
Yeah, that would be nice.
let, let us save a tree and plant it where it can grow, and
Mm-hmm.
do something like that, just um, to help the cause, and then money from that can go into buy other trees
Mm-hmm.
and or donate it to national forests all over the world or something like that to plant more trees
Hmm.
to bigger organizations.
I wonder if in Hungary I can just plant whatever, or if we need to get some approvals or what, because there are also areas where trees were cut, but I don't
Yeah.
know, belong to someone, getting
Well,
the
I
tax.
remember that when I lived in an area close to you, there
Mm-hmm.
were, like, when the condominiums were built, there were no
Yeah.
trees. So actually, the
Yeah.
neighbors put together money and planted trees. And I don't remember
Mm.
if we needed approval from anybody or we just did it. We just planted the trees.
Yeah, I don't know the rules, but it's worth checking.
Absolutely. So,
But I think
water.
this topic
Yeah, I think water, if you think of it, we are
also
made of
just
water.
the two of
So, what if
us.
there's no water? How can human exist without water? We would simply go into kidney failure and die if we have no water. Very quickly, within 2 weeks. Maximum, we can survive 2 weeks without water.
I think
And then you
nobody
add
likes
the
to
heat.
think of that.
No, nobody wants to think of it, but that's the reality. I mean, I have been dehydrated before and um, needed extra fluids. And when you can't drink, you can get very close to your
Hmm.
heart start to give out. We need hydration. And with the heat increasing all over the globe, we even need more hydration than normally. So I think we need to do what we can to cool the earth, be
Hmm.
mindful of using electricity and consumption, be mindful of consumption, uh, and plant trees and plants.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we worship stuff other people invent, any like any any things that people start buying, and we worship these things as if they were some miracles, or meanwhile we forget that we are part of nature, and nature is more
Absolutely.
important, and we destroy nature, and our lives depend on it. And nature means everything: water, food, um,
Yeah.
shade,
You, I mean, it's kind of
clean
funny that
air.
people pay so much money for a designer clothing, right? Nothing
Yeah.
against designer clothing, but people pay sometimes thousands of dollars for that. Imagine if you use that money to plant
Hmm.
trees or to support nature or clean water. I mean, I'm foraging blackberries, holding the phone and walking the dogs. all at the same time.
Multitasking.
But I feel very fortunate because there's a lot of blackberries
Oh, they're
right
gorgeous.
now. So in the last few weeks, like as they are ripening, I've been foraging, and we did this last year too. Mm. Sorry,
I'm
I got
close
a
to a
thorn.
pear.
And
Oh,
then we
I'm
have
close to.
enough blackberries for a full year. We can freeze it, we can freeze dry it, we can make jam,
Mm.
um, and eat it, make juice. So
Yeah, they're
nature
very
is
versatile.
really bountiful when you let it to be, I think.
Look here, I'm close to a pear tree. It's so
Oh,
beautiful.
beautiful.
It
Beautiful.
doesn't make pears every year, but this year it's full.
Well, they have to have the right environment, you know.
Yeah,
I just
but
looked
still
up
under.
because we have two plum trees, and I was curious why the plum trees are not producing plums.
Mm-hmm.
And what it said that they need certain amount of cold days in the winter. And I don't think we had enough cold days. So one of the plum trees had one plum, the other one had zero plums. So as the globe warms up, we might be losing
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fruits.
species of trees as well, because they just simply can't produce in that heat that we have.
Yeah, so instead of bringing fruits that are not in season from the other side of the globe, why don't we nurture our own
Exactly.
types that grow in our areas? And anyway, we wanted to talk also about how to save water at home, right? I was
Okay.
thinking what we are doing around the house and what we can do more. And what I usually repeat to my kids is to turn off the tap while brushing teeth. That's a big
Yeah.
thing in the family.
And also be mindful how many cups we use. Like I feel one cup or one bottle, I reuse it throughout the day. Like not
Hmm.
to use too many cups. Um, we can make one big pot of mail and use it instead of using 100 different pots to cook something, you know.
Yeah.
And
Then after
yeah,
you wash them. And if you use the dishwasher, you should use it when it's completely full. I
absolutely.
I would never use it half full. What's the point if you can put more? Anyway, in our family, since we're a big family, it fills up quickly. So, but from this point of view, as the kids are growing, how can we limit the usage of you know,
Well, and you're
plates?
doing a lot of things with the kids too, like even with the kids' clothing and things like that. Reusing, recycling,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
buying
yeah.
used ones, also not just new ones. And I try to do the same with my clothing,
Mhm.
because it seems like, oh, the clothing is out there, but somehow that still need to be made, and that requires
Yeah,
energy and electricity. So if
definitely.
I, yeah, buy something one, then my rule is to donate two minimum.
Hmm.
So I really think about, do I really need this? You know, you can't always make this with shoes because I don't have that many shoes. So if I need a pair of shoes, I need a pair of shoes.
Well,
But
I think with shoes, if you buy a very good quality pair, then it lasts you
yeah,
a few years at least. I
hmm,
have that I use for 10 years. So
yes,
that's
I have
using
some of those
mindfully.
as well. Yeah,
And I think it's the same with clothes for adults. For kids, you cannot do that because they grow quickly. Out of to buy good quality, maybe the price would be a bit higher, but um, the quality lasts you. And otherwise, swap clothes, buy secondhand. It's crazy how many good quality, unused second hand, unused like new. There's some I find they are sold as second hand, but they're actually
Tag.
uh, with the tag on. So
Yeah,
I really find treasures, and it's strange. It's because of consumption. So the companies
absolutely.
don't get to actually sell everything they produce. I don't even want to think about the piles of clothes lying in, countries, the mountains of clothes,
Oh yeah.
uh, thrown away like trash. It's crazy.
So clearly we have more than what we can use.
Yeah.
And if you think back like 100 year ago, people had two sets of clothes. One they wear during the week and one they went to church with, or if there's a
Hmm.
wedding or something like that. So they had a set of nice clothes and a set of work everyday clothes, and that's it. And compared to that, what we have now, it's insane.
Full closets, and we still say that we have no clothes. And
Yeah.
also, I mean, they used to make their own clothes, right?
Yes.
And they didn't need an industry to consume resources to make
And then
a lot.
reuse, like even whatever you could, like things when they were falling apart, but part of materials that could be still used. Then they made a cover, a
Yeah,
sheet cover from it,
yeah,
or
from scraps. Yeah.
So reusing and recycling, which is one of our motto of the two Gabriellas, has been there for centuries. And I think today's society, not everybody, but a lot of people in today's society is so used to just throwing things away, you know, instead of trying to see who could use this or at least donate it, or can I reuse it for something instead of just throwing it away.
It's so easy to just throw, to put it out of sight, out of mind, and simplify, or declutter, but it's not about this to just throw and buy more. It's about reusing, recycling, giving to others, swapping, and
And be mindful how we use things,
yeah,
because it all comes back to it all takes electricity, it all takes water, it all takes away from our life in a way.
time
Because-
and resources. Oh, and about water, I know you collect rainwater, so that's another
Yes,
uh, how to save tip.
yes. I know
Also collect.
Annalise does it in a bigger quantity. I
Yeah.
collect some in some buckets and little jars to use with my paper making. The dogs love it. They don't like chlorinated city water. They like to drink the rainwater. I mean, animals have an instinct feeling about this. And
And for
also, I use it to water the garden, you know, because it's more
yeah,
natural.
my grandma used to collect rainwater, and from it, once a week, she was using it to wash her hair because it
Uh huh.
was so healthy. And I believe it was. I'm not sure nowadays about the plastics and stuff in the air. How, if it's still okay for such, but if animals are drinking it, or I don't know. I was thinking these days about this. If it would be still healthy for us to drink rainwater, use it for our bodies.
I don't know. I think we would need to test it, and it might need to be filtered through,
Yeah.
sand and rocks and all those things. But the question is the sand and the rocks are still
Also,
not polluted or polluted? There's
or
so much pollution.
and then the filtering systems also, they are made out of plastic,
Yes.
and not all probably, but
Unless you make a natural one, like in your garden, you could make a natural one from wood and rocks and sand layered. Um, but still, I would test it. It would be an interesting experiment to see how healthy is our rainwater. I think it would be scary to
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah, I mean, this is another topic, but plastics in the air, what we breathe in and
Hmm.
what
But
our
they get
skin
into
is
the
probably.
water and they get into the birds, and so many birds die and animals because they eat plastic. I mean, how sad is that?
It's very sad.
And even our clothing, if you look at it, before it was made from cotton, which was naturally
Mhm.
grown, now it's made of petroleum. Many of our clothing
We
is
have
made
to,
from oil. Like,
yeah, one needs to be really mindful and really aware of choosing their clothes.
yeah.
By We are using cotton and linen a lot now, and limiting any polyester and such materials. But yeah, in a higher brand, in the big brands, the big clothing brands, if you go into a shop and check the materials, it's depressing. You cannot find, or you can, but it's really rare to find 100% cotton or 100% linen made clothes, and those are really expensive now, as if it's premium already.
Yeah. There's also bamboo clothing, which is very good. And, bamboo grows easily. So that's also a good
Yeah, yeah,
way to help our environment.
yeah. There are a few more good, of course, wool, cashmere, or I mean, there are natural ones, but lately I've been focusing on linen. That's len or lenvason, no? Linen
Hmm.
and
Yeah, I don't
cotton.
know what is that Lanwassen in.
It's linen. It's this from natural, from a plant
No, I know
made up.
what it is in
Oh
Hungarian. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what is it named in English.
I think it's
Um.
linen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anything we can do to, reduce waste, be more natural as we can be, helps. And, I could drive to the store and buy blackberries, or I could come out and
Hmm.
spend 2 hours collecting blackberries every few
Yeah.
days. And it's good because I'm out in nature, using what's already there, saving gas. I'm walking and foraging. So, little things like that. And
And talking with people.
just even if you just plant one bush or one tree that gives you food, I think that's going to be essential in the future. Even if you can just do grow herbs in your windowsill, every little thing helps, because it's also good for our mental health, plants. So if you have plants, instead of plants that are merely decorative, you could also have plants that produce peppers or something else in your home.
Yeah, tomatoes
Tomatoes.
and eggplants and
Yeah.
roots that you can make soup from, and so many goodies that we can grow in nature. And on our balcony, I plant tomatoes, usually peppers,
Hmm.
strawberries, and flowers for the
Strawberries. I
bees.
saw you had strawberries. And
And
then you
there's
brought in your pepper plant for over the winter. So you had the pepper plant inside,
oh
which was
yeah,
great.
Sometimes we bring from other countries as a souvenir plants.
Yeah, which is great. Which I have one tiny little pepper plant growing from your seeds too.
My
We'll
mom
see if it
planted it.
survives.
My mom also planted from it, from the um, spicy malagueta from Portugal, what we brought, and it's huge. It's as big as me. Imagine in a garden, it grows so wonderfully. But in winter or in late autumn, you should bring it inside if you can, if it's in a pot, and it will
Yeah,
survive over the winter, and you
I do
can take
that.
it outside again
I do
next the
that with
following.
my avocado plant too, because it wouldn't survive outside.
I'm being attacked by mosquitoes.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
I don't really like to spray, but it's wild. Mm. Yeah, how about have you thought of gray water recycling for the garden, or have you tried it before? I don't know how that works, but I think it will be something for the future or near future to think of. If somebody is growing a garden and they can reuse the water from, well, I'm curious
Now,
if anybody used it before.
I have seen people plant trees and they use the river, and then the river dried out, and then they couldn't water their trees anymore because there's so many people took the water out of the river to
Hmm.
water their um, trees. Then there was no water left for the river. So you have to
Yeah.
be careful where you use your water.
No, no, I didn't. I didn't mean that. It's called gray water recycling.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, sorry, I didn't hear that word.
Oh,
But yes,
yeah.
I know that they use it in. There's some places called earth homes in
Hmm.
Arizona where
Oh.
they collect the rainwater, and then they use it, let's say, for drinking water first and washing dishes. But then from that, it doesn't go to waste. It goes to water the plants in the house and around the house.
Hmm.
And every water is recycled. So you shower and then you water the plants with it, or before you use it to flush the toilet, it filters and then
Hmm.
waters the plants.
Yeah,
So
that we
because
do.
now it's crazy to think of that we flush the toilet with drinking water. Why? You know,
Crazy.
if the water could be collected that we use to shower, for example,
Hmm.
that would
Hmm.
be good to wash the toilet. Dogs are excited they see a cat. Come on, puppies. It's
Uh,
just a cat. Come on.
yeah, so
It's
there are
okay.
many examples, many ideas. I think we could write a book on this, right? So, um,
But I think every
it's a
idea
really
is
hot
worth
subject.
exploring, and everything we do to help preservation and conservation, it helps humanity. It helps us survive.
Yeah.
Every single thing. If you can plant a tree today or tomorrow, you add it to the collective good.
Hmm.
Or a plant,
Yeah.
or an herb. Anything you can do, any little
Yeah.
thing.
Any little plant, and just we need to remember that the most important things for us humans are clean air and clean water. If we have
Yes,
this in the front of our mind, maybe be more conscious of our consumption habits and how
yeah.
we can save and reuse and recycle. And I mean, I don't know what stage we are now globally with water
I think we're
resources.
getting into the danger zone,
Yeah,
honestly.
I read somewhere
We
that
are not, we are not, if you could use a scale of green to red, we are not green, we are not red yet.
no, no,
Between the yellow and the
and
orange,
in
I think,
between.
because
Really
there's so
scary.
many fires and there's so many places in the world that's already restricting
Mm-hmm.
how much water or energy you can use, because simply there's no more.
Yeah, here and in Hungary as well, they recommend to reduce or to not use energy at peak times. So for now, it's a recommendation.
Yeah.
Many people do it, the ones who are aware and who understand. But we could do better, I think.
Yeah. We could do a lot better. And if we don't, simply we're not gonna exist, or a lot of people are gonna die. It's scary to think about it, but that's the truth. We cannot survive without water, and we cannot survive without clean water, because even if you have water, but it's polluted, we are getting cancers and all kinds of inflammatory diseases because water and air and soil pollution. So is
Mm-hmm.
it really worth it to produce all these things, all these plastics, all these different kind of chemicals, then that cause us harm? Why are we even doing that as humans?
No,
It doesn't make any sense to me.
it's all about more. It's just more, more, more greed, and we humans don't need that much to exist and to just mind their place in, you know, in nature. In
Yes. And
we wouldn't need that much actually to survive and to lead a good life.
mhm. And it is so simple. Like even in nature, if you harvest all the seeds, all the fruit, then there's nothing going to be reseeding, right? So
Mhm.
if you harvest part of it and leave part of it for the animals, and they transport it and poop it out and reseed it, or take it on their fur and reseed it somewhere else, the flowers, the plants, the herbs, then there's going to be more. If you take it all, after a while there's going to be nothing left.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I read somewhere that, it's not about the planet. I mean, the planet will survive without us.
oh yeah,
So
it's been here for millions and millions of years. It's going to be here. It's
it's not,
yeah.
yeah, it's not about us saving the planet. It's about our species.
Yeah, do we want humanity to survive, and do we want our children not just to be able to survive but to thrive? Like there's so many heat waves and
Yeah.
people are already suffering, and we know the solution. Instead of cutting down trees, we need to plant them to cool down the planet.
Hmm.
We let the grasses grow instead of cutting them down to be a perfectly manicured garden to cool the planet. uh, who cares how tall the grass is if it's better for everybody? Right? I mean,
Yeah, it keeps
and it,
the earth sheltered.
and instead of the grasses, maybe we could plant fruit trees that actually feed people. I mean, yeah. And there's places that do that, and I do want to give credit to all the places that create community
Yeah.
gardens, that
Yeah.
support their neighbors, that plant trees. There's amazing organizations um, that do that, but I'm just not sure if it's going to be enough. We might all need to do it,
Hmm.
or unfortunately, it's kind of like how medicine is reactive medicine instead of preventive medicine. You know, people might just react when a catastrophe happens, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, I do my little part. I plant my
Yeah.
little trees. I try to conserve water and energy, and, you know, open the windows instead of turning on the light when going to the bathroom.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Open the curtains. Simple things,
Oh, true.
which
And
might not
to
seem a lot, but
know
it
what's
does.
happening around. Not. It's not about scaring them. It's about knowing the reality and what we can do to to help ourselves basically. And I read somewhere which really made me, think a lot. You might have mentioned something similar, that you become really thirsty when there is no water to drink. Like
Mm,
this just stay with everybody and not wishing anybody to become to reach such a thirst and
absolutely.
to suffer. So
Or
water
just
is so
not
important.
having water at all, like, or having water, only access to water a few hours a day. And like what our friend Annalise have to deal with in Jamaica. Um, and what if you're not home and working, and how are you going to collect water, and how, it's a very scary thought, not having
Yeah,
water to drink and to survive.
there are many places, even in Europe, where people have to collect water from sources, walk with buckets or with big plastic bottles and collect. Even in France, I saw this year somebody was coming with the car to a water source, collecting water to water his garden. And he
Hmm.
told us this water is not to drink, so we shouldn't drink it. It was a water coming from a water source coming from a cave, but it was not clean, he said.
Okay.
Somewhere in the middle of France.
But I think there's many places. Even when I was in Hungary and was staying with my mom, there was a lady across. There was a coot, an open well,
Yeah.
um, with a pump that people would collect buckets of water to water their garden, because water was expensive. Otherwise, you had to buy it. So if you
Yeah.
go to the open um, well, and we even went to some of the natural wells and collected drinking water, because it was better than what would come from the faucet.
Yeah. Cheaper as well, if available.
And thank you for joining. And for everybody who's been listening, we appreciate you guys. If you have any questions or any thoughts or comments about water, life, nature, or anything that we didn't talk about, and you would like to hear us about talking in the future, please do let us know. This recording will be available later on Substack, as well as on our YouTube channel. Anything else you want to add, Gabi, before I walk into the forest and lose connection?
Before I get eaten by mosquitoes. Yeah, so just want to share that I'm always happy when I'm surrounded by water. I feel so pulled by, the sea and the ocean, and I'm always craving to to go to the sea or to visit the ocean. And we are far from from the ocean, but uh and yeah, I don't know, it's been in the past few years like this. And I know you are close to the ocean and you love it as well. And this
Yeah,
also.
I feel the fresh air from the ocean. I'm about 45 minutes drive, but I'm close to the river that goes into the ocean. I can take a 20-minute walk down to the river
Yeah.
and could see the river as well from our home. And we have little creeks in the winter that's surrounding us around the property. So that's really nice. I just, and we are fortunate because we live in a forested area and there's a lot of water and rain here for now, you know.
Yeah, we visited some places in Hungary where there used to be a waterfall. You went for a hike to see the waterfall, but there was nothing. There was Everything
Oh,
was dried up. It was sad.
it is sad.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Just
And
create
if you guys
awareness.
interested about water and thinking about more about water, we just did a water prompt recently. That's also available on Substack and both Substack and Medium platforms. And we have a water workbook that's
Yeah, we
out
released.
now. That's available on Gumroad, and there's a link to it from my our website, gabriellakörösi.org. And if you're interested in any resource that we don't have, please do let us know. And we published many books together, from nature walks to womanhood to poverty, AI versus HI, a lot of different resources out there from writers, authors, creators from all over the world. And they
Yeah,
come out in the box and remind us where we are from.
we lost connection for a bit there. So we will add.
Okay.
We will add in the comments under the recording all these, the workbook, water is our body is water, and what we mentioned. So let us know if you're interested in more, or you want to share your stories in your part of the world. What is the situation, and how you're doing your part to save water.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you. Uh, what you think about all this. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Until next time, the two Gabriellas are signing off. May your day be joyful, beautiful, and always, and try to get out to nature if you can. Take
Yeah.
care. Bye, everyone. I'm pushing the end button and it doesn't end. Okay.
I have no idea,
Bye.
so it's gonna go on and on. It's just a sign that we need to keep talking about water.